Want to give you an update on the vehicle real quick. There are 3 things that have happened that I want to take note of. And I'm going to start with, had something unfortunate pop up just a couple of days ago. I was sitting in the car and I look up, and sure enough, I don't know if you can see it, but I got a crack in the window. So it's starting here and it goes across here and goes up there. I called my insurance company and they said they'll cover it. You know, am I going to have to go to a dealer? What's going, you know, am I going to be able to get somebody else to do it? I don't know. I assume I'm going to have to go to a dealer. You know, I had a couple of rocks hit this window, but they were small, and I looked for evidence of a chip or something like that and just did not see it. And it seems pretty obvious that this crack started from the edge and is propagated, you know, out to here now. And so we'll follow that and see how it goes. But, you know, that's unfortunate that it appears that it just, you know, is it the high temperatures? You would hope not. All right, so that's one thing that has happened. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that when I was in Big Cypress, I mentioned that there was a clanging noise when I was going through some of the potholes. I am kind of concerned about that clanging sound I'm hearing when I hit a dip pretty hard, and it was concerning me. Well, if you remember from a video or 2 before that, because I was having to park this thing, or was going to have to park this thing in a parking garage that was low, I took the jack and I took the shovel off and I just put them in the back of the vehicle. I just had them laid, you know, right here across the back of the vehicle. Well, sure enough, you know, that sound at first that I heard when I was driving through Big Cypress sounded like a drive shaft or some kind of something like that under the vehicle. And it turns out it was the shovel and the jack clanging on each other. So what I was fearful of, that there was some kind of issue with the vehicle, there was not. Okay, third and final thing. Again, I took my gas cans and my water cans off of the top to get to go into that parking garage, and then I put them back on. Well, sure enough, I was driving into a parking lot and they had a very low hanging tree in the parking lot, and I got to it before it even dawned on me. And there's a pretty good sized limb, I'd say 8-inch diameter. And the good news is that limb was high enough, you know, it didn't catch the window, it didn't catch the front of the rack, it didn't tear up my light bar, but sure enough, if it didn't catch those containers up there, which are empty right now, by the way, and it knocked the top ones both sideways. And, you know, so what's the good news from my standpoint, and I considered it a good news thing. The good news is that they got hit hard by a fairly good sized limb. It obviously bounced up and went over them. It turned both of those, but they didn't get knocked off the rack. I ended up taking them off and inspecting the system that holds them on. One of them, the one that the water tanks is on, was bent, but I unbent it. I did some other stuff and put them back up there, and we're good to go. So that's a minor thing, but I did want to talk about that, and that's just something I'm going to have to pay closer attention to on the Grenadier, is just is clearance. All right, so we'll see you out in the Wichita Mountains and Wildlife Refuge. If you look over here, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's not a lot of rain around here, and so they don't handle water the same way they do in a lot of places. They just put a little low spot in the road and put concrete on it and let the water run through. So I'm very hopeful that we're going to get some water crossings today and maybe be able to demonstrate that. Oh, there we go, a nice splashy. A big splash. There we go. Did you get it? I got her. That one looked good. That was a good one. So I pulled up to this pile of gravel and decided I was going to do a little testing on the attitude of the Grenadier. So I'm going to put it in neutral, which I just did. I'm going to put in lock and low, and then we're just going to, for fun, see what this thing does going up this little mound, and have the attitude in there at the same time. And I'm gonna pull up, so I've got, so there we're at 6 degrees, 10 degrees, 14 degrees, 17 degrees. Ooh, so I just now got a little drag on my in fact, you can see in the camera, I just drug the this thing didn't like that. I just drug the hitch, I believe. So I'm going to, while I've got this thing off, I'm going to go back there and look and see what happened with the hitch, just for grins. Oh yeah, got a little dirt drag on the hitch, but it does not appear that anything else was impacted. Obviously, if I'd have been thinking, I'd have taken the hitch off. It did not get the plate itself. It just got the hitch. So anyway, just a little fun there.
That's where you got your dig in right there.
So there's where it dawned on me. I can look up here, there's where the hitch dug. And honestly, when I pulled up, it drug my rope off of. It scraped right there in the middle, and it drug my rope off of here, which is obviously no big deal. But anyway, just having a little fun.
Yeah, that's not a mountain. Whoa, we got it. Oh, here we go. Ooh, we're getting vertical. That's cool. Here's the spot where it drug through.
Yeah, so earlier when I climbed the rocks, I pulled up to them and I thought I heard a drag, and sure enough, I got the front bash plate a little dirty, got a little gravel in the grill there or whatever, and again pulled my rope off. So, got a little gravel on the recovery hook there. So anyhow, she's becoming an off-roader.